The next step after drawing your 6 squares is to begin shading to make your keys look more 3D. So for this, you will use again your 6B sketching pencil, your eraser, and the new tool, a blender. This is a paper blender. So I have found my key again, and I have put it in the viewfinder so that you can see what you're working on. The next part you're going to do is you're going to begin to add some color and some shading. So I'm going to start with the part in the middle. Now that's kind of indented in the key, so I'm going to make that darker. So I'm going to begin to add color, lots of color, and notice I am not scribbling here. I am doing very consistent and dark areas. So now that I've filled that entire area, I'm going to take my paper blender and blend it all together, making more of a smooth look. Go right up to those edges. If you were to do more scratches and more scribbling when drawing and going with pencil, then it would not create a smooth surface. Here you can no longer see the pencil lines. To make that smoothness with the paper blender, you do not want to use the very tip. You kind of want to use the side of it, so more of it at an angle rather than the very tip. That will also help. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to create some highlights with my eraser. So in areas where it's a little lighter, I'm going to erase. Now this is something that you have to look at the key to see. To you, what parts are lighter and what parts are darker. Then I'm going to go back and take my pencil and make some areas even darker than when I started. I see a very dark area on this edge, so I'm going to make that even darker. Again, I'm going to use my blender to make it all smooth. Next, I'm going to add even more color. I can even erase to make this neat. You can save that for the end. And I'm going to add color to this side, however, not nearly as much color. So when I'm drawing, I'm hardly pressing. Again, you want to have a consistent pressure with your pencil. You not want to do scratches or just some lines. You do not want to go like this, because when you go over the paper blender, that will not look good. It will not blend. Then you will again take your paper blender and smooth together. In order to make this really look too different, I am going to make this line darker and then go in and add some shades on this side to really help that line, or I should say some tints on this side. You can use your hand, that's also a great blending tool. And then on this side, I am going to, with the jagged edges, I'm going to do the same as this, so that this dark part looks like an indentation, which it is. I'm going to do the same light as I did on this side. And again, blending it, making it smooth with this tool. And then coming in, my eraser, to create some light areas. Then with my pencil, again, I will go back and add the darks. By doing that, this looks like it's an indent, on the key, which it is. There are a lot of lines, especially on that part. Once you have done 1, you will do 2, then you continue to do all 6 of your keys using your drawing and sketching pencil and your blending tool and your eraser, creating darks, mediums, and then really light lights with your eraser.